I'm Diana Lee Callaghan Ironstone. I'm 89 years old, and I hadn't written any poetry for 50 years. And I awoke one night in 2023 and a poem at 3 o'clock in the morning in my head. Got up and wrote it verbatim, never had to change anything. And it started off this way. Poetry is a dream of the soul. It is a feeling, a searching that we try to express in the written word. Sometimes it is comfort, other times confusing and fearful. It is when it is liberating that my soul is awakening and the dream is no longer a dream and my words release me from my hidden self. Look deeply into my words and you will see the real me. One of my first poems started August 2023, actually when I moved into the apartment out of our house, and it's called A Hand Across the Corridor. I stand in front of an unfamiliar building, suitcase in hand, no one to greet me, no children, no special man. My heart sinks. I want to go home. I walk down a corridor with many doors, numbers above I do not recognize. I feel so alone. I want to go home. But now I know it can never be, for I am alone and can never go home. I sit and remember years gone by of family and love, and my heart soars, but no more. And then I heard a knock at the door. A hand extends and a warm voice I hear. Welcome to our little corner of the world. I am near. A new beginning could it be, that a little part of me is no longer alone, and this will be a beginning of a new home for me. An old man on a park bench. In quiet contemplation the old man sat, his peace emanating like a beacon to my heart. The noise and chaos swirled around him, a voices loud and making fun of this old man, and then they ran. I sat down beside him with some hesitation, wanting to talk to him in my appreciation. What was his philosophy? What could it be of the way he made it feel for me? He said, "Don't listen to me, listen to yourself. Only you can make the change you wish. Don't look to others to give you peace. The ability to achieve it is with you all along. There is no right, there is no wrong. It belongs to you and me. Acceptance is the key." For one brief shining moment, he loved me every day of our married life. He called me his angel, his friend, his wife. I was not so fair of face or body, and not so young when first we met, and yet, not all was said, but I know he knew just how much he meant to me too. He was my world, my home, my reason for living. Gone now, no longer with me, except in my heart, his love still giving. I'm okay. I'd like to tell you a story of a man, not just to make you sorry, who carried himself with such grace even when those around him stood and stared at him and his disfigured face. Very large lumps of flesh covered every exposed part of his skin, not just his face, but every part of him, who walked with some discomfort but not complaining, heard only to say, "I'm okay." He had brothers and sisters who he aspired to be like and to follow, but he knew in his heart it could never be, so he chose the philosophy that acceptance was the key. A man who had such love in him and was never heard to say a bad word about anyone, always willing to help someone if he could, forgetting the pain he was always in. He gave his love to his pets, both dogs and cats, that gave him back their unconditional love, and they gave him such solace in his life and gave him a feeling of worth on this earth. He had a wonderful head full head of hair of soft, thick black. Sorry, he had wonderful head full of soft, thick black hair, the envy of many a man. But even a barber declined to cut it because of the large lumps on his scalp beneath his beautiful hair. People could be heard behind his back saying words like, ugly, monster, look at him. Could he hear what was said? Of course. But his reaction was not of anger, confrontation, or recourse, but acceptance of what life had given him and to carry on. Later in life he married a woman who saw the man he was inside, loving and giving, and not seeing what he looked like on the outside. She loved and cared for him for many years. The love between them never faltered. They became the proud parents of 2 lovely daughters. He's gone now, united with his father and mother. This man I knew was not a stranger. He was my brother. Where is contentment? Where is peace? Will these torments ever cease? Beneath this breast something burns, something, but what that this heart yearns? I've asked myself, no answer found. I question others all around. Many answered who thought they knew, but found that they questioned too. So is it someone we seek to love and care, someone to cherish, someone to share the many burdens of life we face, going nowhere but trying to race, not to contentment, this thing so rare, this intangible thing my heart must find, this elusive thing, this peace of mind. Life is not infinite, it is finite. Why do we fear it so? If God is waiting and wanting me, I embrace the thought. If there is nothing, so let it be, for there is no fear in death for me. How lonely it is in the darkness of night, when there is a time to think and a time to dream. The good, the bad, the wrong, the right, all pass through our thoughts, for it would seem that conscience bothers not in light of day until the fingers of darkness lay on mind and soul and sleep perturbed, for rest comes not easy when man's soul is disturbed. A joy in living, a peaceful heart, and eyes for seeing each thing apart, and hands for holding to show one's love, and a head on shoulders to see above, and legs for standing and walking tall, and lips from which no harsh words fall, and a heart for keeping and praying for you. You are always with me, just us two. Is this me? Please, dear God, let it be. The rains of Ranchapur. The sky was clear and blue. No clouds could be seen, no sign of rain as the natives softly chanted their prayers. The crust of the earth was dry and scorched. The leaves of the plants drooped as if in quest of cool water, but could find none. Even the animals who stalked the steaming underbrush could find no relief from the intense white heat. Everywhere in India, life was parched. As the last sound of the native chant was lost to the night, dark clouds gathered on the horizon. The natives looked up, their faces full of hope, as a cool breeze blew across the arid land, summoning the people and animals forth. A flash of lightning, an ominous roll of thunder, and the rains came. A neighbor is not just someone who lives next door, but to me it really means much more. A warm hello when we meet and how are you today means so much more to me than you'll ever know. And to say thank you for being here and to know you care. I give to you my gift of rhyme, heartfelt, always, not just at Christmas time. A letter. I walked into the waiting room, 6 people can I see, no one looking up even to acknowledge me, only looking down to a brightly lit screen, their fingers moving like electric currents spurred quickly to their thumbs, or so it seemed. Mr. Jones, I hear, you're next. Oh, let me finish my text. Without looking up, he followed her down the hall and walked into a very visible wall. He was knocked out cold, and when he was lying there, I wondered what was so important. What was so important? What knowledge could not wait? It said, "I'll meet you for coffee at 8:30. I won't be late." Who was it that said technology is a useful servant but a dangerous master? It is attached to us like glue. We have to take it with us no matter where we go. But like anything new, we have to accept change too. But like putting pen to paper, news comes to us much later. But oh, the feeling I get when I hold that piece of paper. The rest of the story. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I stood before you 89 years ago on the day before I was born, and you sentenced me to a life of love and laughter. And it started on the next day, on the day I was born, and for many years thereafter. My jokes and stories to make people smile and to forget their worries just for a while. And to share this gift has made my life so worthwhile and made me happy more than you'll ever know. And so, you only live once, and if you do it right, once is enough. I choose to live it with laughter. I may be 89 years old, but the rest of my story is yet to be told. Oh, and by the way, love and laughter found, I married a famous circus clown. In the greater scheme of things, where or what am I? Where do I belong, or does it matter? I may worry, I may fear, but these things I cannot change, and life will roll on without me or not. So what is my choice in living in this world? Be happy as I can and do no harm, and thank God for the day I was born. Otherwise I would never know the good things He has given me, like my family, here and gone. Family. How lucky can one person be? When I was born into the Ironstone family, many joys and sorrows have come and gone, but our family will go on and on. Having someone I know who cares for me, two special people you will always be. Bingo. A bingo game at Penetang is a place where everybody knows my face. It is my happy time when I come to play the game, where everybody there knows my name. When I'm feeling low or lucky and want something to do, I go to my happy place and play my game of bingo. A friendly hi from special people on staff, and to share some good stories and have a good laugh. Mike is the one I like to see when he says hello to me. I only see John and Sue once in a while, but I was always greeted with a smile. Natasha, Camilla, Teresa, Marta, and Lee. Without great staff, where would we be? With bingo papers in hand to sell, dabber in hand, I'm ready to play. What color should I use? Here comes the numbers. Will I win or lose? I see on the screen, I-24. It is the number I was waiting for. My heart begins to race. Now I know I'm in my happy place. A great feeling when I call that magic word. Bingo is the name. I'm so glad I came to play today. You know it is my favorite game. An invitation to dinner to a blind person is a daunting feeling, especially if most were strangers. How could I connect with them and feel at ease? Voices were my connection. I could feel warmth, uncertainty, questions they wanted to ask. But sight is not my only sense. I can smell the good food and to compliment the hostess even before we eat. I could hear the laughter around the table and could sense that everyone was happy to be there. And so I also felt accepted, and I was happy. I was thankful to have these people around me. I saw everyone through my other senses that God has given me. I thought the barn was empty, and then I saw him coming through the gate, proud and prancing, announcing his presence. My joy in seeing him entering the barn with the sound of hoofs and his flaring nostrils, he came to me, muscling my hand, to greet me with his colt, who followed it into his warm stall. He was lost, and now he's home. The attack of the sugar plum fairy. Oh no, it cannot be. The sugar plum fairy is after me. My eyes and my stomach say yes to all candy. My blood says forget it, I'm sweet enough already. So it's off to the diabetes center I go, for 'tis the week before Christmas, and as you all know, the attack of the munchies is hard to resist, and cake and candy are not on my list. What to my surprise, guess what they said? It's okay for the sugar plum to dance in my head, for we should all be happy this holiday season, so enjoy your food, of course, within reason. Our message to all is not hard to remember. We should all count our blessings this month of December, for it's okay to have possessions and wealth, but the best gift of all is the gift of good health. This is the following year. I am the earth, the part of me spent in preparation of the time that bubbles and burns within me. It has been simmering for 89 years when the force is ready to erupt and flow through the crust of my being and explodes up and outward. The feeling and force is incredible. The release is unimaginable. My force is spent now, and slowly I retreat back to the earth. I have been part of this world and earth, which has ever changed me. I will always be part of it now for eternity. Back to square one. Sitting down with a Sunday paper, coffee in my favorite cup, ready to challenge my knowledge once more before the family starts getting up. A crossword puzzle waiting for me, squares, numbers, and letters from A to Z. Row by row, square by square, number by number, my fingers fly. With pen in hand, I really do try. So I hurry ahead to decipher all these clues, but times to myself are all too few. An hour gone, but I'm almost done, except for 6 squares in section 1. Uh-oh, no time to finish. Here they come. Another time to get it done before I can get back to square one. A random act of kindness. A man not too old stood on the corner looking hungry and cold. I gave him $5 and with a nod, money in hand, he went to a sidewalk food stand. A sandwich and a cup of coffee bought. I was such a good person, I thought. But then he walked across the street, food in hand, and gave it to an old man sitting there with tattered clothes and matted hair. Then he walked away, not waiting to hear what the man said. I asked him, "Why would you give your food away?" He said, "I try to commit one act of kindness each and every day. No matter how hard life gets for me, I will not lose my humanity." Vanity. I'm too vain to use my cane. My doctor said I'm afraid you'll fall or slip and fracture one of your very fragile hips. But I feel so good most of the time. I look so good, I'm sure I'm fine. I don't want to look like a little old lady of 89, needing something to keep me going and stand up straight. So I find ways to manage those dizzy spells and those weak knees that hit me now and then, because sometimes I don't know where or when. So I hold on to a cart when I shop at the local food mart. At home I make sure I'm near a chair or a wall, just in case I might fall. Well, guess what happened? You guessed it right. It happened one Friday night. Please, send get well cards to the rehab lab or ward. I will be here for quite a while and will be quite bored. There is a moral to my tale. Vanity will eventually fail, and my hip will eventually mend and sew. Now I know my cane will always be close at hand, I know. The seasons of my life. Most people see life as seasons. The beginning spring, the living summer, the future fall, the ending winter. My season of winter was the beginning of my life. The harshness of winter to be endured, the struggle of finding worth and purpose, and finding my way in the greater scheme of things. Then fall came, and my future was yet to be told. Change came to me like the change in colors. The leaves began to fall away, and I was shedding all my prejudice, fears, and insecurities. Then came summer, the seasons of living and loving, the time to enjoy what I was given to me in the time that was left in life for me. I passed the winter, fall, and summer of my life, and then came the spring. The flowers were blooming. It was the beginning, and then came spring. The flowers were blooming. It was the beginning of the end of the season for me, and I accepted the fact that it was time to go. But then I knew it was the beginning of my life, not the ending. I felt the sun warming me, and I saw the light. All the burdens were released from my shoulders. The flowers, the colors, and warmth of the earth were beautiful, and I felt the love and someone waiting for me. This was not my ending. Spring was the beginning of eternal life for me. Family. How lucky can one person be when I was born into my family? Many joys and sorrows have come and gone, but our family will go on and on. What a greater gift can there be than the gift of life and family? Friendship. I know what a friend is. You don't have to tell me. We don't have to live close to each other, but friends we will always be, sharing our sorrows and joys that life gives us over the years. We can't solve all our problems, but we share our laughter and our tears. For 70 years we kept in touch by phone most weeks for news of friends and family we seek. All these years from 1954, and a wish for many, many years more. Thank you for being a friend, Bernice, but Bernie you will always be to me. I give to you my gift of rhyme, remembering you and all the good times. Writer's block. Why do I think I can write poetry? I'm not even what you would call literary. Some words I even have to look up in the dictionary. Oh well, I just won't worry. I don't know about verbs or nouns, question marks, apostrophes, where do they belong? Somehow these sentences seem all wrong. But I keep putting pen to paper, hoping my words will come out later. And then there was a book I came across, written by a famous poet, Ogden Nash. He writes his works in metered rhymes, and reading it brings a smile to my lips or tears to my eyes. His poems are short, but the laughter is not. Now here's a poet I would like to emulate. Finding his book, I'm sure was fate. Now the words I write come pouring out in the style of him. Now there is no doubt that my journey in words and many thoughts will be written in his whimsical style. It was there inside me all this while. My thoughts are complete, and now I can sleep. Midland, my hometown. A poet laureate of my hometown I long to be, for there is so much here not lost for me. There's peace and beauty here that I had forgotten, of wooded areas lush and green, and the clearest waters you've ever seen. The air is pure as I breathe it deeply and feel the cleansing and strength it gives me. My old Midland home looks the same, but on the mailbox is a new name. But wonderful memories still remain of love and laughter and feeling safe, remembering my family and Mom and Dad's face. The town itself, its shops and streets and homes, and the childhood friends, some still here but now growing. I have been away for many years, but now I'm back to what this heart yearns. I found my little piece of Shangri-La, and here I'll stay forevermore. My Aussie. Our love was forever, but the time was short. For one brief shining moment, we had only each other. Lost within himself. I will come with you on this journey, so you will never be left alone. We will hold hands and walk together and talk of all the wonderful things we've done, mostly love and joy of life, even the sad things we endured, but we remained strong and together. We loved each other, but our time was short. For memories are beginning to fade now. Hold my hand, I won't let go, for you are forgetting who I am, and the love I have for you is not remembered. Please, please, remember me, for I am the one who is lost and alone now. I still feel your hand giving me strength. I will remember. You will not be forgotten. Now is forever. No past, no future, now. My life is now, my feelings now. The trees, rivers, and mountains now. Now is where I want to be. I can't live in the past. The future I can't predict. What I see is now. My pain is now. I know now. But I will miss him now and forever. Thank you for loving me and the time we shared together. Life. Today I'm the ocean, my depth, my waves, my strength. I am alive. Then I became a lake, smooth waters with sunlight twinkling on the surface. I am at ease with life. Then the lake became a river, washing to the sea, taking me with it to a small stream. Slowly, slowly running down toward the ocean, I become again. My bucket list. The time has come, my body said, to do these things before I'm dead. For all the things that I have missed, it's time to make my bucket list. I've never made a hole in one, but I'll play golf until it's done. I pray my knees will hold me up until that ball rolls in the cup. I always wanted to put on skates and slide across the ice before I enter those pearly gates. But bob skates I'll need to keep me steady. When the time comes to do it, I hope I'm ready. I've never been on a roller coaster to hold on with fear as it goes faster. I'm told that the ride is so much fun. I hope my pacemaker holds up until I'm done. To parachute from a plane on high, and as I'm falling, I wonder why. But oh, the feeling when I do this feat as I land safely on my feet. I hope that time will be good to me and give me a chance to be able to see the things in my bucket list done. Then I know I have truly won. Life is finite. It was the day I found out that life was finite, not infinite, as I sat and listened to my diagnosis, and my mind did not want to believe it. Through many days and weeks, I endured the many treatments that were offered to me. I was told the prognosis was to wait and see. While sitting in the waiting room for my turn to get my IV, a small butterfly lit on my hand and fluttered for a moment and then flew away. For weeks after each treatment, feeling sick and tired and very low, even well-meaning platitudes from family and friends did not make me feel better, I know. But life was still going on around me, and I knew what was to be would be. And to cope, I needed the feeling of a little bit of hope. But each day as I began to feel better and stronger, I felt life was going my way. I would take the good or bad day by day. And then one day the news I was told was worth every ounce of a bar of gold. And like the mystical phoenix, I rose from the ashes with wings spread wide and strong. And on the tip of one wing there rode a little butterfly, my heart's song. You don't have to tell me who you are. I know you were with me when times were low. You were with me all along. You were my heart's song. You are my butterfly of hope. Contentment. Words are my essence expressed in my poetry. Look deeply into my words and you will find the real me. The urge to write and make it real brings to me a way to heal. But contentment eludes me. I am going nowhere but trying to race. Not to contentment, this thing so rare, this intangible thing my heart must find, this elusive thing, this peace of mind. Oh no, I'm feeling so low, a waste of time for me, I know, for life affords me a limited time, so I want to feel this day is mine. So I tell my mind to feel good things and wonder what this day will bring. So I get up and get dressed and go outside and see what joys that I may find. And there it is. White fluffy clouds floating by on a canvas of blue across the sky. And instantly my memories come flooding back of lying on the backyard grass and looking up and hearing my mother's voice coming from the kitchen door and the smell of baking bread and feeling the love of her once more. And so I sit outside today and feel the warmth of the sun on my face and enjoy my time as my thoughts begin to race, not of problems and feeling of despair, but thankful for what life has given me. And today the feeling of contentment, this thing so rare, I smile not just with my face, but within my body and my soul, and the loneliness I feel has ceased, and my day ends with a feeling of great peace. I am Cleopatra, Queen of the Nile. My beauty and strength are known throughout my empire. My people love and adore me. My army is legendary, and I rule Roman countries and lands far beyond Rome. The crowd is cheering me as my 20 bearers carry me down the Appian Way to the gates of my palace. I rule with assurance and strength. As my entourage enters the gates, the lights begin to dim. I no longer hear the adoration of the people. My golden crown and dress begin to fade. My beautiful golden dress becomes a nightgown. I turn and lay my book upon the pillow on my bed, and my thoughts turn to the morning when I will be celebrating my 13th birthday. I will return to this world and to myself, unsure of myself, knowing I have no beauty, I am ungainly, and have very few friends. Being 13, I wonder what is ahead of me in life. But just for a little while last night, I was Cleopatra, the legendary Queen of the Nile, if only just for a little while. To the unknown poet, your words emanate like a beacon of light to my heart as I read your poem yet unsigned. Who were or are you, I want to know. What kind of person can write such beautiful thoughts? How old were you and what drove you to write these words? I'm glad that your words still live in your poetry so that people like me can still enjoy your feelings and to inspire and remember. Do you know how your writings reach those of us who have read your works, but your name cannot be said or remembered? How sad that you don't know that your words will continue in this world of words. Are you part of a long ago age, or simply just found by accident on a slip of paper? But words never die, and this is why poets keep putting pen to paper and hope that someday, somewhere, our words will still reach your heart and mind, and when you find us, remember our names. The voice of silence. An older woman unsteady on her feet, using a cane, carrying a bowl of strawberry ice cream, and places it on a picnic table. Many people around her, but none sit at her table. For a few minutes she forgets her loneliness and eats the cold, creamy treat, feeling the coldness on her lips and tongue, and savors each spoonful. When finished, she looks around her, hearing the words, voices, laughter, and conversations, and she longs to be able to add her voice, but no one seems to notice her. After a while, she gets up with the help of her cane and begins to walk unsteadily down the sidewalk toward home. She opens her door and enters her lonely place. No one to talk to her or hear her voice. Loneliness surrounds her and envelops her in a dark cloud. I want to talk and join in others, she thinks. How do I know this woman and how she feels? I know now because it's me. Just barely 18. So much of the world left to be seen. So what am I doing here? A big mistake I've made. I'm feeling so afraid. In nurse's residence for the first time that day. A room with 4 old iron beds, a stack of books with foreign names, and on the bed a striped uniform, white shoes, and hose that will be worn for the next 3 years. I'm almost in tears. And the next day our learning started. There was anatomy, physiology, and nursing arts. We knew that this was only but the start. There was so much to learn I didn't think I could cope, but slowly and surely the knowledge came. And I knew my choice would never bring me fortune or great fame. And finally the day came standing there in a uniform of white, black band proudly displayed upon a starched white cap. Now, what kind of nurse did I want to be? And after reading this poem, I knew it would be me. Treat all patients, no matter who, as if they were my family. The Ironstone Family Reunion. As hosts for the evenings, Ozzy and I would like to welcome you to the Ironstone Family Reunion. Some of us haven't seen each other for a very long time or haven't met the younger set of the Ironstone family. My brothers and sisters and I are officially the older generation. Somebody asked me if I thought I was over the hill. Well, I'm not over the hill, but the view up here is pretty damn good. There's silver in our hair, gold in our teeth, and titanium in our hips and knee replacements. Heck, we're worth more now than we were when we were younger. We are losing our hair, our teeth, our hearing, our glasses. Our memories are getting poor. We are sagging and wrinkled. As seniors, we are the leading carrier of AIDS. Hearing aids, roll aids, medical aids, band-aids, walking aids, government aids, and most of all, monetary aids for our kids. I know that life is not a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving in a pretty body, but rather to slide into it broadside, thoroughly used up and totally worn out, and loudly proclaiming, "Damned, what a ride." We pass on to you, the next generation, the gift of family, as family never ends. I wish I could be around 40 years from now when one of my great-great-nieces looks in the mirror and says, "My God, I'm the spitting image of my great-great-aunt Diana." The garden party. I'm late for a very important date. My watch had stopped and I was lost, and I didn't want to miss it at any rate. Finally, I found the house with a path leading to a back garden gate. And there, under the shade of a big, beautiful tree, a table set for 8 with china cups and china plates, and a big pot of boiling tea, ready to welcome you and me. And on each plate, a big piece of delicious cake. And at the head of the table, Lydia sat, telling tales of this and that. Helmut was there with his lovely wife, Diane and Diana, Judy ×2, and Gosha with her family too. There must be hundreds of cakes in this world with wonderful taste, but the best one of all is a slice of cake enjoyed with a hot cup of tea for all of us to enjoy, served under the shade of a garden tree. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving voices greet me every day, every place I go this week, and I begin to think of all the great things I have been given in my life. The list is long and satisfying, but all things come back to me, me, me. Am I worthy of all that has been given to me? And then I begin to think of all the things I am not thankful for indifference to people who are hungry and terrorized and sad in the midst of war and hatred. I am not thankful that I can't or won't do anything about this. Not grateful for seeing someone in pain or unable to recognize who is lost within himself and I am unable to help. Why have I been given so much and others so little? If I don't see myself in the equation, it becomes clear that we have become immune to problems in this world. And on a lighter note, the other one that is not thankful for Thanksgiving is Tom, who is currently lying on a platter on my dining room table when he was led from his pen early in the day saying, "Why me? Why me? Why me?" My legacy. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I stood before you 89 years ago on the day before I was born, and you sentenced me to a life of love and laughter. And it started the next day on the day I was born and for many years thereafter. And now I know what my legacy will be when I am no longer here. Laughter. It bubbles and rumbles within my being, releasing powerful feelings of strength and well-being. A feeling of giving and making a difference. My joy in making people laugh and smile is a great joy to me when I make them happy. It brings to me great happiness to know I may be remembered after I go. And that's as far as I got. I'm 89 years old, and I hope that my poetry will continue for many, many more years, and hope that people will enjoy it.